Hey everybody, this is Wigan North here, and welcome to day 5 of episode 63 of Ricster Diaries. It is Friday the 10th of June, it's 9:15 in the morning. Yep, it's homeward bound day, I'm afraid, the day when we go home. But we're not going home straight away, because today we're going to be visiting the seaside town of Southport, and also we'll be travelling on the Cheshire Day Ranger ticket as well today. The journey to Southport. We started the journey here at Prestatyn. We're going to make our way out of North Wales via the A55 Expressway and basically cross Merseyside from there. You will be hearing my phone as a sat nav. So let's get all this loaded into the car and let's hit the road. Right, off we go. Well, it's goodbye to Pontins for another year. Anyway, we're off to Southport today, which is one place my family wanted to go to on holiday a few years ago, but they couldn't. It actually looks a decent seaside resort town, so I reckon it'll be a good way to unwind the day. But first we need to get some petrol in the car, which
in a quarter of a mile, turn left onto Prestatyn Road A548,
which will be beneficial because I've got a quarter of a tank left. So yeah, the idea is myself later this evening. Oh dear, I hope we can get out. There's that very gate there. It's where Blakey got himself involved in the accident, for those you've seen holding on the buses. Anyway, we get some petrolling first. There's a garage in town, so I suspect the garages further down might be a bit more expensive. And there is tolls on the road, but it should be alright. So it'll be like a couple of quid anyway to get through.
turn left onto Prestatyn Road A548.
Yeah, hang on love, let me get some petrol in. So briefly, we're heading to Prestatyn town, but only to get fuel. See the seagulls had a go at my car as well. See further down. Okay, it's
take the next left onto High Street A5151.
Okay, it's now 5 to 10. The lads joining the A5151. I had to go to second gear then. It's a very steep climb, that was.
Of a mile, turn right onto Road.
It's a gorgeous day today. I will say it's goodbye to North Wales, and hopefully we'll be back here next year. Absolutely, fully love this holiday. And this time we'll make sure the final day is mostly about trains as well as sightseeing.
Take the next right onto Road.
Okay, we're going to the Hiranic Road. Looks like we're taking the scenic route. There we go. Drop the car into second gear.
Continue on Road for 3 miles.
Let's leave the car second gear while we go up this steep incline. It doesn't look it, but believe you me, it is quite steep. Oh wow. This road reminds me when you drive Yorkshire Moors Railway out of Slights, taking the B road. Some similarities, this is. Yeah, we're swearing what my sat-nav says. Apparently this is the fastest route. For those who didn't know, I'm using my phone as a sat-nav, so you just hear that beautiful sounds of nature. Hopefully, maybe next year I might come down for full 7 days rather than just 5. Because believe you me, there was so much to see and so much to do. So much to do here. Oh, I'll be very careful. Come on. Ooh. See a little further down. Right, 10:03. We're just about to join the slip road.
A55 slip road, then merge onto North Wales Expressway.
Okay. You're just hoping that's. Oh, good, Samaritan.
Continue on North Wales Expressway for 13 miles.
Oh dear. Well. There we are. That's an interesting route. I think it was the fastest way. Cruising steady 65. going straight on. That's about an Evolve 100, Wigan 47 to Liverpool Green Square. Resort town. This is one town I haven't explored yet, so I reckon it's going to be worth having a look around. By 11:43, we're just in Southport town centre at the moment. Found the train station. Just gonna turn left here. And park up the best we can. Station.
Turn right, then your destination will be on the right.
Can I actually park in here? Over here. Let's see why not. Let's give it a try.
Your destination is on the right.
That's not bad. Great parking. Well, just gonna hope and pray now. Oh, that looks tight, but let's give it a go. Oh, hang on, okay. Oh yes, there we go. Parked up. frustrating. I can't see it because it's the sea mist, but somewhere down there is Blackpool Tower. Absolutely stunning place to come to. I'm sorry about the wind noise, hope you can hear me okay. Absolutely gorgeous place. Those are the things I've been talking about before. I would recommend and it's such a beautiful place. I will go enjoy a bit of time sightseeing, then I'll go get some chippy, and we'll have some fun on the duty. M56. Så jag har varit med Mersey.
I only get like little bits of drugs as far as I understand. I could just have or something.
This train is for Hunts Cross. The next station is Birkdale.
Good afternoon and welcome aboard the 1428 service Southport to Hunts Cross, calling all stations. Passengers who require Ormskirk services, please change at Sandhills. Passengers requiring stations on the Kirby line, please change at Moorfields for the rail replacement bus service. Thank you very much.
Right, welcome to Sandhill Station. It's now going to 3:10. We're on the Merseyrail network. Here is where you can change for services towards Ormskirk. Anyway, we're here because we're going to get most of the notables, because the 507s and 508s will be getting withdrawn in the very near future. Anyway, it's an impressive looking station. Anyway, Merseyrail services going to Ormskirk, Southport, and going the other way towards Hunts Cross and Liverpool Central. We'll spend about half an hour here and see what notables we can get.
Please change here for Liverpool Lime Street and all Wirral Line services. Thank you.
please take some time to read the safety information displayed throughout the train. And be aware that smoking or vaping is not allowed.
This is the Northern service to Wigan North Western. The next stop is Edge Hill.
Customers are requested to remain vigilant. If you see anything suspicious, please report it to a member of staff or the British Transport Police via text on 61016. We'll sort it. See it, say it, sort it.
Door here, please.
Yep.
Thank you.
If not, if they send you back over here, you'll be over here, then alright.
we're finishing there now. It's now coming to 5 to 7. The train out here is due out in 1948, which will be worked by 333 and 333. Sorry, not 333. I mean 331 018 and 331 020. That's what I meant. And we'll change back to Liverpool, and then it's going to be back on the Mersey for Southport. Stunning day so far. Got a lot in for an hour, so I'm quite pleased. Just went from Wigan North Western. The first train to Liverpool. Second mile on there. 331. Last time when this was back in March 2020. brilliant and see the sunset.
We're gonna stay in that one, we end up. Alright, come on, ciao. No, quello di tempo. Basically, Yeah, no, shade transfers in the telling us and then we met ridiculous. Then we met Ruby, Izzy, that like bitch, I hate that she making snide comments on the but then females when I walked in, we went upstairs, and his bed sat on the shade told me to come there. I didn't know who there was that day.
Right, everybody, we're back in the car. It's now just come up to 11:15 at night. Well, this is it. The long drive home. The journey time should take about 2 hours and 50 minutes. Luckily, we saved ourselves 10 minutes really, because when I checked early on, there was a bit of delay, but looks like we're all clear on. So basically, we're going out of here, out towards Preston, Manchester, Leeds, via the M62, then pick up the A64 just on the other side of Leeds, and then straightforward run to Scarborough. Well, this has been a very interesting day, but I've fully enjoyed it, and like every day of this holiday has been truly awesome. So let's settle back and let's get into the cruise of this journey back home to Scarborough. Right, off we go. Well, it's goodbye to Liverpool, goodbye to this North Wales holiday, and goodbye to Southport. I'm actually thinking maybe for next year, so maybe definitely come here for a mini break. It looks like the ideal location. As there goes the 156 off to, that's off to Wigan Wallgate. Yeah, that's off to Wigan Wallgate with a very empty train. Luckily this is an open access car park, which means we can go in and out whenever we like. So we turn right and then we go left.
Take the next right onto London Street, then turn left onto Scarisbrick Street.
Okay. Just let this van go. Go on, bus. That was blinding.
Take the next left onto Scaresbrig Street.
Okay, on the Scaresbrig Street we go.
In 200 yards, turn left onto Mornington Road.
Okay, we can do that. Not as many party goers on Friday compared to Saturday. Anyway, it's been an awesome day. Like I said, we might have to
Take
stop
the next
off.
left onto Mornington Road.
We might have to stop off and just get some petrol in the car, but sorry, not petrol. I mean, just stop for toilet break. But apart from that, we should be smooth sailing, or smooth driving even.
In 300 yards, turn right onto Lord Street, A565.
Right, we'll turn right here as we exit Southport. I will say, as a seaside resort, this is actually very nice. There goes a VDL Pulsar. Working service 44 to the hospital. Is that turn right?
In 100.
Okay, it's 2320. Google Maps is taking us to the interesting route home. We're driving via Southport Promenade at the moment, which is a very unusual route. Quite strange we're not going the same way out as we went the same way in, but I'm assuming this is the fastest way home. But it is telling us to head towards Preston, so maybe it's the better route.
Turn left onto Fairway.
Okay, as we turn left onto Fairway.
In a quarter of a mile, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Marine Drive NCN 62.
Right, okay. And second exit is... let's see, where will it take us? Oh, indeed, yeah, we're heading to Preston. We're heading for the Harrogate as well. It's all signs from my hometown. Well, hometown road sign, A59 Harrogate.
Exit the roundabout onto Marine Drive.
Goodness me, it's very dark here.
Continue on Marine Drive for 3 miles.
Somewhere to your left, not sure if the camera can pick it out, it's Blackpool. And sunny Blackpool to your left. I'm assuming this is the fastest way home anyway. I'll say no more. Say a little further down. Okay, it's 5 to midnight. We're now on Westway. We're there for 3/4 of a mile. So it looks like it's taking us an avoiding route. I did have a look earlier on. There seems to be some sort of roadworks going on, so this is why the sat nav's telling us to go this way, I presume, to avoid that backlog. I hope we do join the motorway soon, because it's not doing my fuel consumption any good. Anyway, everything's going well.
In a quarter of a mile, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Exton Lane B5252.
It's taking me all over the place, the sat nav is. I'm about to stop and pull over and have a look, see where exactly it's taking me. Unless there's been an accident. Second exit, effectively straight on. fastest route, love, not the longest way round. Anyway, no matter. Okay, found out where the sat-nav was taking me. It's come up to midnight. Basically, what it's done is it was taking me by the avoiding routes, but we are going to be stuck a little bit of a tailback, about an 18-minute delay on the M61, but that's not too bad. It's one advantage to sail this time of night rather than the first thing in the morning, to really, well, early on, let's say. Yeah, it's all part of the adventure, all part of the journey. So yeah, we're about to join the M61, head down towards Manchester now. Go down the bus. Sorry, I was in front of you. Right, M61, here we go. Not quite. And the lights are against us. That's no advantage, these lights change quick at night.
Exit the roundabout onto the slip road.
Okay.
In a quarter of a mile, merge onto M61.
So here we are then, the night road of the M61. We'll keep it steady 65. I'll see you further down the road. Well, hello everybody. Do you know what I just realised? First and foremost, it's Wednesday the 13th, and secondly, I did not conclude the final day of the Ricster Diaries. So I'm really sorry, this is a very late conclusion to the holiday, but I've been really busy at work and social commitments as well. Anyway, let's conclude the 5-part North Wales special. Starting with day 1, we drove to North Wales, so started journey on Scarborough, drove out the A64 all the way through to Leeds. Unfortunately, there was a bit of a crash, which caused about 10-15 minute delay, which was no problem at all. Then we drove by the A1 briefly, M1, and then M62. Along the way, we stopped off at Birch Services, and from there we then continued bypassing Manchester. It's like a ring road, so we bypassed that before we got to Chester Station. Manchester, we've had a little bit of problem in terms of parking, because when I put the card in to pay for the car park, it was charging me a week's ticket. I didn't want that, so the ticket machine was faulty. But luckily there was like a number, like a web link as well, where to pay car park, so I managed to pay for it online, a day's parking, and for eight quid it was worth it. Anyway, Chester Station got some pretty good variety in. Paying class 2 class 197, so 2 carriage and 3 carriage was out and about on test. Plenty of 195s as well, 150s, 175s, and of course the Merseyrail 507s and 508s. And of course, not forgetting the Vanity West Coast with now more services running through to Holyhead from London Euston, which is really good to see. After Chester, we then caught the 1354 Transport for Rail service to Crewe, which was a Pony Class 153s, one of which is an ex-East Midlands Railway Class 153. Smooth journey to Crewe. Managed to hit the top speed 75 miles an hour. And at Crewe we got a lot of variety in, including the Climate Vanity West Coast Pendolino speeding through, and also various other units, some freights as well, light local movements. So that was really cool. Then we caught the 1625 Transport for Rail service back to Chester, and that was a very busy service. That was again same pair of class 153s that was on. Now I didn't have a choice. I could have waited for the 1648 Vanity West Coast service to Chester, but there's one things I could have done, but time was getting on. I just really wanted to get to our holiday location, so got back in the car. We drove into Prestatyn town first to do some shopping. I know, unusual before holiday, but for this year we stayed, and you guessed it, it was holiday on the bus's location, Prestatyn Sands. And my word, that brings back a lot of childhood memories, that does. The accommodation itself, we booked into a club apartment, and it was very nice. You know, I mean, it was a bit tatty, but you know, didn't want to make a fuss. But anyway, it was actually okay. You know, for a week's worth, it was actually alright. I know I had time to do some sightseeing, but I was just really tired after day 1. And that's day 1 done. Moving on to day 2. And second day of a holiday, we ventured off to London for the day. So it was a day to stay without driving. So the journey, we caught the slightly late running 1027 Transport for Wales pairing the class 158s between Manchester Airport to Holyhead. And yes, the Manchester services are now back running the full length of North Wales Coastal all up to Llandudno or Llandudno Junction. London Junction, we got straight out to filming, which was absolutely incredible transporting session we had there. A lot of variety in. Also 197 on test, and also a Mark 4 set as well that was running heavily delayed. And one thing that made that service interesting on its return journey is that train was running well over half an hour late. So Transport Wales made a plan was for the Mark 4 set that was running Holyhead to Cardiff service to overtake a Holyhead to Birmingham international service, and that train ran non-stop to Chester, so they didn't stop at any intermediate stations along the way. Then afterwards, when they caught the I think it's 1305 Transport Wales Class 150 service on the shuttle to Llandudno. From there, we then did some sightseeing around Llandudno, which is a gorgeous seaside resort town. Also had a walk around the pier, and also went up on the Great Orme tramway to the summit of the Great Orme. And this, I will say, the wind was incredibly calm, and it was just a lovely, glamorous day up there. Anyway, we then caught the tram back down to Victoria Station, and we had a slow walk back to Llandudno Station. From there, we then caught the 1844 Transport Wales service all the way back to Prestatyn. And that was day 2. Moving onwards to day 3. And day 3 of the whole day, we went to the beautiful and glamorous and very peaceful National Park of Snowdonia. Now, this time we drove by the faster way, which is via the A55 North Wales Expressway, through to Bangor, and then Bangor we switched to the A roads. I think it's A5 we also went along as well, and that took us all the way to Labris, or in other words, Snowdonia. Managed to get parked up, no problem at all. Then we managed to walk up the great walk, let's say, to the summit of Snowdonia. Well, we walked so far up. I couldn't have done that because firstly I didn't have the appropriate footwear, and secondly it would have been too far. But there was a map, and it did say it'll take 3 hours to walk to the summit. But we did get to the passing loop along the Snowdonia Mountain Railway. So we saw one train climbing up and then another train descending back down. Interesting thing about those steam locomotives is that these are Swedish built, I think, steam locomotives, which came to Britain, and they worked on Snowdonia Mountain Railway, pushing and pulling the train up and down the summit. And they've also got a few Hunslet diesel locomotives as well. Afterwards, the original plan was to ride on the Labris Lake Railway. However, we've had a few problems because I had to walk, because the main ticket office was shut. So I had to walk towards the main office, which is the station out just opposite the Slate Museum. And the trouble was, they're not charging for like adult and child fares. They only had one flat fare, and that is a compartment fare for £26. And frankly, it wasn't worth it really for an hour to just ride up and down the lake, not for an hour. I mean, it won't be so bad if they had the adult and child fares back, but hopefully they might bring it back in the future. Afterwards, we did some sightseeing about Snowdonia. Then we drove back, drove back by the scenic routes by Betsucurid, and stopped off for some glamorous views. Absolutely stunning views of Snowdonia. And the road we drove on, we actually drove alongside the Conway Wirral Line at some stations. I think it was Rowan Bridge Station that we drove past. Anyway, but then joined the A55 North Wales Expressway, back all the way back to Prestatyn. And that was day 3. Moving on to day 4 of the holiday. And day 4 was had to get right back into the thick of the action and go back onto the trains. So the journey, we started at Prestatyn. We called the, sorry, bear with me, I had to double check here. Yeah, it was the 9:46 Transport for Wales service all the way to Shrewsbury. So that train was actually working on what's the day train, I think it was, or could have been later train, could have been later service actually. Anyway, it was 175007 all the way to Shrewsbury. We had a few hold-ups along the way, but nothing too dramatic. And I will say it was a nice ride. We got to Shrewsbury, no problem at all. We had a few hours worth, which we got some good variety. I know we didn't see the rival train from the Heart of Wales line. I know we didn't see any Mark 4 sets, but we did manage to get a much better attempt of recording the ultimate announcements at Shrewsbury Station, and that's something I'm really proud of, as there was a waiting room. So we got lucky there. Unfortunately, they didn't announce the Transport for Wales service to Birmingham International, because Agabirds here, he kept interrupting. Anyway, no matter, we got most of them in. Then afterwards, we then caught the 1441 Westminster Railway service to our second station, and that is Wolverhampton. Now, excuse me, good station, Wolverhampton. You know, haven't been there since 2019, and forgotten just how much of a great station it is. Yeah, plenty of variety going in there. And also, again, we got ultimate announcements. The journey back, we caught the slightly late running, sorry, bear with me, it's been quite a while. Dear oh dear, bear with me folks, I'm terribly sorry. I think it was slightly running, I think it was like the late running 1745, I think. I can't be 100% sure at times. Anyway, but that service, it worked a once a day train from Birmingham International through to delayed.Northern. Anyway, that was a nice train ride. We had Permanent 158, which soon became a single 158, as a train detached at Shrewsbury, where the Wirral 158 formed a service to Crewe, and our train was supposed to continue for delayed.Northern. However, plot twist, there was a unit swap for Class 175. Never mind. Anyway, we caught the 175 all the way back to Prestatyn, and I'm gutted I didn't stay behind, because a few minutes behind our train there was a rail tour, so I was not aware of it, but no matter. And that is day 4. And moving on to the 5th and final day of the holiday, and the going home day. And for this day, rather than going home straight away, we went to the seaside resort town of Southport. Now, Southport is one place I've never been to before, but as a seaside resort town, it looks very nice. So we drove by the A55, crossing into Merseyside, and then bizarrely, because it's called the Mersey Gateway. Now, the Mersey Gateway Bridge, and yes, I did get done for this. Now, it did say, before you crossed the bridge, it did say there was toll. So I initially thought, okay, there's going to be a toll booth. And I had a letter from the Merseyside Mersey Flow, and I got fined 22 quid nevertheless. And this is the really stupid thing, is that you have to pay online. I'll leave a photo now, come out top corner of the screen, and that's how ridiculous it is. So in order to cross the bridge, you have to pay in advance. That's a really daft system. And doesn't work, because many people are getting caught out by that. So if you go out crossing the Mersey Gateway Bridge, just be very, very careful of that. Anyway, despite this, we got to Southport, no problem at all. We parked up next to Southport train station, open access car park, which was good. And then we did some sightseeing around Southport. Had a lovely walk around the pier, which was absolutely lovely to do that. And then we stopped off for a box of chips and curry. That was very nice for lunch. And then we decided to have some fun on the Merseyrail network. Now, the original plan was to go to Wigan North Western on a Northern service, but Northern were cancelling their trains out of Southport, so unfortunately we couldn't do that. But plan B, we decided to travel via the Merseyrail. And those who are not aware, but the 507s and 508 units are going to be withdrawn in the very near future, prior to the new class 777s, which will eventually make their induction into service. So we went down towards Liverpool Lime Street. From there, I had to travel via Liverpool to get to Wigan North Western, which will call the late running 1745 Northern service to Wigan. And that train was absolutely heaving full and standing. The reason for this is because Transpennine Express cancelled. Sorry, I'm sorry, corrected. Sorry, it's actually 1645. The late one 1645 we call, I think it was. Yeah, anyway, the reason for that is because Transpennine cancelled their Liverpool to Glasgow train, which I presume would have terminated at Preston. So everyone had to travel this Northern 319, which was absolutely ram-packed. Anyway, Wigan North Western, epic station. Got a lot of variety in, a lot excuse me, a lot of great units, and it was wonderful. It was absolutely glamorous. Fully enjoyed that station. Then the journey back, when they caught the slightly late running 1950 Northern service back to Liverpool Lime Street. That was apparently class 331s. Then Liverpool, we then travelled via the Wirral and Northern lines to get back to Southport. And I decided to have another look around, and my word, was it worth it at night. The pier looked even more beautiful at night than what it did during the day. Then, before the long drive home, we found a Mackie D's that was open 24 hours. Went there, grabbed something to eat. I ate it in the car, and then we got ourselves ready for the long drive home. Now, I did stop off a few times. Stopped off on the outskirts of Leeds on the M62. Excuse me. I also stopped just beyond York in a lay-by. On a lay-by. Just catch up on a bit of sleep. And you know what? I didn't care. Okay, Northern 170 departing there to Sheffield. Anyway, I didn't care what time I got back home, because it was sunrise and it was a beautiful morning. And that's it for this holiday. I'm sorry I didn't do more, but to be honest with you, it's like there's so much to do in such little time there. But never mind, maybe for next year I might consider going for extra longer. So, thank you very much for watching this 5-part special. You can follow me via the usual social media links, which are found in the description below. And until next time, I'll see you all then.